And I think people are going to be really pleased with the outcome because it will greatly add to our already very significant mineral resource.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Shaun Bunn, the Managing Director of Empire Metals. Shaun, good to speak with you. You've just completed your most extensive drilling program ever, 35,000 meters. The high-grade zone at Thomas now extends over 5 kilometers. What does that tell you about the true scale of what you have at Pitfield?
Yeah, no, it confirms what we set out to, now we've been saying for some time now. This is a giant mineral system, 30 kilometres long, 10 kilometres wide. And we've been constantly trying to frame, if you like, our exploration and resource development, bringing that into what will become ultimately where we most likely will start mining. So in another way of describing that, what we're saying here is that we want to find options around mine development, high grade, near surface targets, close to infrastructure within the tenement boundaries. And the drilling results that we announced recently have confirmed that. Really super grades at Thomas target. And now we're going back to look at what we found at Cosgrove. So really important drilling program, the one we just completed.
Shaun, an upgraded mineral resource estimate is coming in July. What should investors be watching for in that announcement, and why does it matter?
Well, what we said at the start of the year was we were drilling for various reasons. So this is the biggest drilling program we've ever undertaken. We've more than doubled the total amount of meters that we've drilled. The focus around the Thomas prospect was more infill drilling to bring the resource up into a higher category and to look at this high grade core. So that's been, obviously that's been quite a success for us already. The Cosgrove drilling was an expansion program. So the Cosgrove resource estimate was much smaller than the Thomas target. And that was simply a function of the number of holes that we had drilled in that particular area. So we went out and did a lot more drilling at Cosgrove on a bigger area. And I think people are going to be really pleased with the outcome because it will greatly add to our already very significant mineral resource.
Metallurgical batch testing nearly done, and a process flow sheet announcement is also coming, Shaun. Can you explain in plain terms what that means and why it's such a critical step?
Well, arguably this is now our biggest risk. We talk about high grade in the ground, we talk about the size and scale of the ore body, but a lot of people are now coming back to how do you monetize this? How do you get the titanium out of this incredible ore body into a final product? And that's what our metallurgical team, our technical team, have been working on now for about 18 months. So I'm really pleased to say that we're going to be bringing out a very comprehensive flow sheet in the coming weeks. I think people are going to be really excited by the fact that we can lay out conventional process steps, things that are commonly found in industry, albeit not necessarily, in a titanium project. I think people are going to be really happy with the outcome, and we'll be able to show a pathway to a final product.
Shaun, existing institutional shareholders just backed you with £8 million. What does that tell us about how investors view Pitfield, and where's that money going to get spent?
Well, I think these are really, highly sophisticated investors, and these are people that have, I think they get the value proposition. Okay, we haven't gone out with a technical flow sheet yet. We haven't completed economic studies, but I think that these are people that understand now that the value proposition is there. Excuse me. And so we will come back to the market with a final scoping and economic study towards the end of the year.
Shaun, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
Shaun Bunn, Managing Director of Empire Metals.